I believe we're live on the Twitch. I forgot.
We on the Twitch doing the shit.
What's
I forgot
Sitch?
Twitch logged me out of shit before quitting. I forgot to ever come back and do that.
It was one of those things though that the day that you were trying to do that, I was slightly happy that you ended up not doing it because I was super zooted. And I needed to send you an authenticator code, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna miss when Ant needs the authenticator code, and then he's gonna be mad at me."
All good. I ended up being able to do what I needed to do, but at the same time, whenever I do eventually like stream and stuff again, I guess I'm gonna need that.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like by the time that you go to stream again, though, it'll be like when I'm over there, like. In between, like I'll be in at least one day in between there, so probably. We'll get that sorted.
Oh, of course. Since I'm using it signed out now, there's when I watch it, there's ads, but it doesn't matter because I'm on the show, so I don't need to see the show.
Yeah, give us that ad money, yo.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm trying to see if did we miss any questions or anything in the Discord. I don't think so.
We did. There's questions we didn't answer, but I think they were in the Patreon one.
That's for the Patreon only. Speaking of the Patreon, that motherfucker is giving me so many issues.
The Patreon?
Yeah, so we switched.
Oh, the last episode.
We switched from Streamlabs to Streamlabs OBS in between the most recent and the last Patreon podcast, and I didn't change the encoder settings to the recordings. So it kept spitting out an MKV file, which
weird.
It's fine, you would think, because I open it on my file explorer and then it opens in, like the videos windows thing that has, and it's fine. Audio's there, video's synced up, it's Gucci. But then I drop it into Premiere. Premiere accepts MKV files, but the audio is corrupted. So it's just this loud, like, digital noise that's like 100 decibels plus more than it needs to be in Premiere exclusively. So I couldn't edit it. And that, of course, was the Patreon where you had to step away for a second and I was watching YouTube videos. So I'm using the YouTube in-app editor to edit that out just so the patrons get it still. And it's taken days to edit that bit out. And it was like 12 minutes, maybe.
Shit, man.
What up, and welcome.
Either way, it will be live very, very soon. It's just like, I forgot to change that one little box. And that's literally the only issue that happened. It's literally up right now, and I think the edit is done. So I just gotta, write the description and name, but there's no intro music. There's no nothing in it. It's just plain Jane what we did on the podcast with the tier list. So the Patreon are getting like a broken down Patreon this week.
Sorry, Patreons.
It's all good, but they'll understand. It's fucking file types, man. I was like, why is this a thing? And then I was like, okay, MKV files to MP4, the only free software that you can do that with allows up to 10-minute videos. That was an hour and 30-minute long podcast.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, couldn't convert it to an MP4. And then anything online, there was nothing about it. There was nothing. Like I was like looking at tutorials and I'm like, this is my issue. That's what's happening. It's blown out audio. And then everyone's like, here's how to set up your audio in OBS. And I'm like, that's not what the video title says. That's not what I asked for. Like, you're lying to me. But needless to say, it'll be on YouTube soon for the patrons, so that'll be good, I guess.
It's one thing after another, man. We are the Technical Difficulties Podcast.
Honestly, that's a good podcast name too, though.
As soon as I said it, I was like, ooh, how do we flip that into something?
I don't even know. I mean, in theory, we could do like a game. I was gonna say something it's literally something I just saw. Ironically, fucking the Easy Allies. I don't really watch them often, but I know they exist because a lot of my friends are fans of them. and they have a show
they're
called Trash Babies, where they like play. It's 4 people on a couch, and each of them get 8 minutes with the game, and they have to decide whether or not it's trash or treasure. And it's only games that are a 60 or below on Metacritic. So I was like, okay, in my brain, we could do a series in which we play games that are well known for being buggy, in like having technical difficulties, and review whether or not they're worth playing. Situation like with the Save Before 5 situation.
So all Bethesda games.
Yeah, that pretty much.
It's the whole show is their catalog.
Yeah, that would keep us alive for a while, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, honestly, we could even make it like a category in the like the Save Before 5 show. Like if there are technical difficulties, like just have like a fucking blaring red sign like technical difficulties. Now here's where shit went wrong.
Right. When we get like 200 episodes, we should go back and do picture-in-picture director's commentary on older episodes.
Oh god, it would be.
And that would be a compilation of like, that could be our sideshow called Technical Difficulties, where all of our shit from the old shit leading up to now
days on Patreon or something.
That would be nuts.
We could do a like a mini game that's like take a shot whenever something is said a second time.
You know what? That sounds great and fun and everything.
We're gonna need more alcohol.
Yeah, that, or the fact that like, because technically he could like sue us. I don't think he's even paying attention enough to do that.
It's more of a joke as of this point. I don't even think that we're watched by that
for slander.
I don't even know if it would be considered slander necessarily.
But we're using his likeness, I guess.
Whatever. I
don't even think he would. Never mind. Does he exist still? Oh no, he's still here. I'm looking in my. I don't delete anything out of my Discord inbox, so I still have him in there.
I don't even know. I haven't checked in literally years as of this point. The last thing that I have is some video of someone raging about a Modern Warfare 3 flashback from 2021.
Well, there you have it.
But that being said, we have a very good episode for you this week. We're a little bit lighter on the news, a little bit more fun when it comes to the news as well. It's not as serious as an entire fucking PlayStation event that we have to break down top to bottom.
Very true.
So that'll be fun. And then, what we played this week, a decent bit of stuff. I've started playing some new shit, man.
That's dope.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what you've played as well.
It's been one of them kind of weeks.
All right. Well, there's no time like the present. Let's get into it. Theme song.
Let's go. Why? Just hold that thought. Yes, Trenton. Of course. The what? I'm not doing that. I'm recording live right now, man. We're not doing that right now. Close the door.
Tell them it'll be in the store for another week.
Huh? No, it's late. We're not doing that tonight. It's late for you.
It'll be in the store for another week.
I'm not telling him that because then he'll just run behind me every day until I do it. You can't ever give kids a timeline. Like you can never tell them when, like even up to yesterday when we were going to see, and we'll talk about it later, Spider-Man. He had no idea. Like leading up to that day, I was like, we might do something this week. But if I tell him that we're doing that, every day I would have to hear about it.
When is it? When is
he didn't know. He didn't know until I parked my car in the parking lot of the movie theater.
Damn. That's nice though. I'd love to have that feeling again. Like just showing up to something and just being, especially with that something, like not knowing what you're doing, and then it's just, oh my god, this is.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, we are getting to that for sure. I don't even know if we can not talk spoilers because I want to really bad.
We can.
I know we normally wait a week or so. In like,
I feel like we can talk about it. At least this episode. I don't want to do spoilers yet. It came out today, technically, the official day anyway. Because like it hasn't even been out for 48 hours.
No, but I want to talk about it so much.
Next week we can. We give them a week.
We give them a week always, yeah. God damn, I'm gonna see that movie so many times in theaters. I can't even explain to you.
I know you are. I knew you would.
Look at this fucking sweater I got. It's comfy.
I know. I've been seeing you flaunting that thing.
I guess I should do the intro to the show, huh?
Yeah, actually do the intro now.
Level up, gamers, and welcome back to another episode of the Save Before Quitting podcast. As always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host and father, giving out fatherly advice on this podcast in the beginning.
Yeah, you know. Fatherly advice is me saying, no, you can't do it, get out.
Well, the whole thing that you can't give a timeline, that's a good, and then it's also a good surprise at the same time. So it's like, that's
you have to protect kids from themselves. You have to protect them from their own like
impatience.
Their own impatience.
Hell yeah. But that's Ant. You can say
I'm me. I'm Ant.
And I'm Chris. And you can follow us on all social media platforms. Save letter B number 4 quitting over on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube.
Titty.
The Titty Gang. Titty Gang merch now on sale at SaveBeforeQuitting, fully spelled out.com. There's also other merch if you don't want to have a shirt that says Titty Gang on it, which some of our patrons and our friends and our fans of the show have done that and worn it in public.
Yep.
And we salute that. But if you don't want to do that, we also got some bitch-made merch for the show where I play, stupid scary games, which we got to get back to for RE8 still.
Oh God.
Yeah. We also got to make Save Before Fire, and we got to do this, and we got to do that. Needless to say, I think I just need to start playing scary games randomly one night on the week and just editing into a video. And that sucks for me, but I got to do it.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm ready to just buy the RE4 remake and we play that.
I feel that. Like, a lot of people are saying it's so good, but we got to beat RE8. We got to get that out and just, like, pump it.
I know.
Especially now it's the third-person mode, too. But I think we're going to cruise by a lot of the shit that we've already played, and we'll get that going soon once we finally get some game time in. But until we do, you can also go over to our Patreon, patreon.com/save4quitting. You get 2 extra episodes per month. This last month's last episode is coming very soon. As you heard at the top of the show, technical difficulties were happening, so that should be out probably tomorrow, now that I see that the actual edit is done, and it took out the part where you had to run away for something, and I had to also run away and then come back and watch a YouTube video, so hopefully that's gone now, and I'll just upload it straight away. So that should be good, but we talk about random stuff. This recent episode that is coming very, very soon is actually motherfucking a tier list, but it's not an ordinary tier list.
It's not. It's not your daddy's tier list.
It is not Dad's
your
tier list,
granddaddy's tier list.
It's Aunt's tier list.
I guess, damn it, that you found a hole in my logic.
I didn't find a hole. I found a segue in your logic.
And I crashed it right into your logic.
It is Ant's motherfucking game list of his backlog of games that he's purchased and never touched. And what is most important on the list to play when he does get that free time finally away from both Tears of the Kingdom, because that takes precedence over everything at the moment. And
Mhm.
I don't know what the other thing would be, but yeah, that. We also have to make the list of things you started and not finished, because that's a decent bit of things as well.
That's a good bit. Yeah.
So that'll be a fun list to
A
check
very
out.
good bit.
But that'll most likely be the first episode of this coming next month, or maybe we'll switch over to my thing that I've paid for and not played. I don't know. We'll go back and forth a couple times. We'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
But until then, we do one thing every week that is the most consistent thing, and we say one thing, which is Ant.
What did you play this week?
Zelda, of course.
Hell
I
yeah.
haven't played a lot of it. This is probably the least I've played. Well, least from time of release to now.
Mm-hmm.
I've played a new Zelda in, I couldn't tell you, like since I've been playing Zelda.
Damn.
And it's not that I don't want to play. It's just that I just don't have, like, I'll have time, but I won't have like enough time to where I'll feel like I'll make significant progress. So then it'll just be a wash. Like, no, well, then I'm not going to play right now. So I'm going to pick it up. And that first hour is just going to be me fucking around. And sometimes if I only have an hour, then it's like, well, I don't have time to do everything I want to do.
I feel that entirely.
So I have to wait for like, I don't know, I'll play sometime this weekend. But I also do definitely want to get, because even though I haven't played it, I picked up Street Fighter 6. And
yeah.
which was another banger of a game, like rated, like review wise. So
I was shocked by it. I didn't expect the scores to be as high as they were, to say the least.
I didn't need, like, I knew it would be good.
Yeah.
Because I played the demo. But I didn't expect the amazing praise that it got. And once it did, I was like, oh, well, I'm getting this because it's this good. I like Street Fighter. I haven't played one. I haven't engaged with one at length since 4.
Mm-hmm.
So this getting such good reviews, plus the super robust like world tour mode and all that stuff, I'm like, oh, this is something I could like dive into and have a moment. So
Hell yeah.
I'm looking forward to picking that up. Well,
I'd be
playing
down
it
to
now that I
test
have
it
it.
out a little bit when I'm over next. I've never played a
That would be a
Street
funny video.
Fighter, so
That would be some
me
kind of
getting
right
my
there.
ass kicked over and over and over again.
I mean, I did the same when I streamed it, the demo when it came out.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like those games and me just don't get along. Like fighting games, like it's just not my thing. It's not my forte. I can't do combos. Combos aren't my thing, yo.
I
Sorry.
understand.
I'm good at stealth.
No need to
games.
apologize. Apparently, this game has a button masher mode for
Ooh.
kids and people who have no
Ooh.
experience. And I
Sounds
guess if
like-
you randomly just press buttons, it helps you do combos and moves and stuff.
Seems like
So-
I have a fighting chance. Then is what you're saying.
Fighting chance. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
A street fighting chance.
Fixed.
Good night, everybody.
That's the best we'll do of this whole fucking
Yeah.
podcast.
That's what you come here for.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm excited to look at that though and see more about it. It was very funny from my point of view because the fantasy league that we're in right now, I don't know who picked up the game, but I do know
Mhm.
that someone counterpicked the game thinking that it wasn't going to be good. Meaning that if it wasn't good, they would gain points. But since it is good, they lose points. And
Oh shit.
they lost a lot of points from that, and I was like, oh, that's a big oof right there. And it was kind of funny because I understood his lot. It was Bearman from Bearman and Friends, Tuscan Son in the Discord.
That's why he put that gif up.
Yeah, he
I
lost. But his logic was that 5 wasn't received well on launch because there was a lot of issues with it, and then eventually it got good, but at launch it was not received well.
Oh,
So,
see, I wish he would have ran that by me because I would have talked him out of that.
yeah,
Because six did not launch anything close to how 5 launched. They learned every lesson they needed to learn from 5.
my main thing was like, I said, they had so many betas and like online things, and like they had, I think, 3 total betas. Like
They
test
had
betas.
the first beta. That's the one I streamed.
Yeah.
Then they had another beta after that. Then they released they had 3. It was another beta.
Yeah.
Then a full on just here's the demo of the game, and then the game.
Was there a closed beta before all that, maybe as well? Because I think it might be 4. Because I think
The closed one was the first one.
Was the one that you were in, right?
Yeah, because I had to sign up like mad early for it.
So that was okay. Like when you have that many betas for a game, it's one of those things where we complained a lot when we kept seeing shit for this game. Obviously, that's 90% of what, like, when this game was brought up, we were like, really, this again? Like, we know it's gonna be a game. Let's go, fucking release it. And Jesus Christ, they released it, and it's a good ass score. We'll get into that into the news most likely, but damn, I felt bad. I was like, you should count that.
It also, I didn't put this in the news, but it also broke the record for the most concurrent players at launch. They said at midnight there was like, I forgot. It doesn't seem like a high number, but it is if you think about at midnight. It's like 66,000 people instantly were online.
At night.
What?
At night.
At night.
At night.
Okay. It took me a minute.
Trying to bring
just
that
had
up for a specific reason. That's why.
I got you. My bad. My head was fucked up.
They'll know when they hear this eventually.
But it was it broke the record. I think right after that, I think it was Mortal Kombat, like the last Mortal Kombat. But he had a list of like
11.
The numbers. But it broke that record. It's like shattering. Like you saw the reviews. It's like I think it's like one of the highest rated fighting games in a while.
But you didn't play it at all. You just bought it and downloaded it.
I just bought it. Yeah.
Okay. You think you're gonna play any tonight before you skedaddle up to bed, or do you think you're just
maybe? I want to at least get on there and figure out my controls, because I know one of my issues playing it during the demo is that they changed the controllers. Like I was used to Street Fighter having a dedicated low punch, high punch, low kick, high kick, throw, like a button for everything, and then you use the commands to do like fireballs and shit, like button combinations. They changed it to like there's just a low, medium, high attack and a special button. And so when I'm first trying to play it, and I get why they did it. They want people to be able to easily pick it up. If you've never played Street Fighter, they want you to have a fighting chance, so it's easier to kind of just get. But for somebody who's been playing it since fucking 92 the same way, and I pick it up, I'm like, whoa, these buttons are completely different. So I'm hoping they have like classic mode or veteran control, something like that.
They've gotta. I mean, Call of Duty still
I would
has
assume
that kind
so.
of shit, so I never understood how people could play on some of those controls back in the day.
I'm hoping they have that, but I say all that to say I might turn it on tonight just to fuck around with the controls, and also like make my character, so that by the time if I do stream it, it's all set up. Like we don't have to sit through the process, the initial process.
The process is fun sometimes, though. I think, what was it? WWE 2K came out, the most recent one, and I did like a solid hour and a half just making myself. Like I was just having a giddy ass time doing it. I'm not saying don't to wait until you stream, not in the least bit. I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
but that can be fun sometimes. You could even, I don't know if you saw it on TikTok, I sent you one. Some person made the dude from the Gorillas.
Oh, you did? No, I didn't see this.
Yeah, and it's like insanely good. Like it looks exactly like what's his name, 3D or whatever. The main.
I don't remember his name. I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah, the one with the blue hair. Like they made him like perfectly in that mode, and I was like, okay. Yeah,
apparently people are making like legit like mock-ups of people. Like this character making mode is really well done.
Yeah, it's also like extremely stylized though too. Like it's not realistic like something like a 2K. It's like got its own like almost, I don't want to say it anime feel, but kind of anime feel to it, as opposed to just like a straight up like realism. So I like that a lot, and I'm tempted to play it, but I don't think I'm gonna buy it myself yet. So We'll see what
I
happens.
get it.
But yeah.
I'll say you can play. Come over here.
Tears of the Kingdom that you've done, or
I actually started doing some actual plot. Shocker.
yeah.
But nothing crazy. Like I've done a bunch of shrines. I got a horse. I found like the first like town. Started moving the story forward.
Got the glider. I assume.
Yeah,
right?
got the glider, and I'm like a little after that, but I'm really nowhere. Like I've like in the grand scope, I've done nothing.
I feel that entirely.
And it's almost intimidating because I feel like I'm just gonna be slowly playing this game for like a year. Like next year, I'm gonna be like, so I reached the first temple. Because there's so much to it.
Fight, and
yeah.
Here we are.
Pretty much. But I don't know, man. This year, these games, I'm gonna talk about it during the news, but this year, man, there's a lot of like, I'm almost confident that this year is gonna go down as like one of those years for gaming. Like that was a good ass year for games.
I agree.
Just because already up to this point, the review scores that's been coming out, everything. Like I think that we're gonna reach the end of this year and look back and be like, oh shit, some crazy shit. And that's not to count. We don't even know what's not coming out.
That is very true. Yeah.
Like what's gonna be at Summer Games Fest, like whenever Nintendo shows their hand, like we have no idea. Like there's stuff coming out this year that we don't know about yet.
You think there's like a big ass game that we're not expecting that's still gonna come out this year? So I feel like Spider-Man 2 at the end of the year, and then what's the other one that's big? Xbox, isn't that still coming out, or did they push that back? Starfield.
Starfield is still supposed to be coming out. They never said anything about it being pushed back.
I can't like forget because it's been so goddamn long. It feels.
Because when did Hogwarts come out this year? Or was that the end of last year?
That was this year.
Already, that was this year. So we had
Hogwarts
came out.
Much to be fair, when it comes to
no, I don't think it is. But that was still like a moment, real quick. Like people were praising that in the moment. Like Hogwarts came out. You got Zelda. You got we'll talk about Diablo, which got crazy scores. Street Fighter now. Mortal Kombat was announced. It's just coming out this year. Spider-Man's coming out at the end of the year. Like there's
stacked.
Starfield, like you just said.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, like there's just banger. It's to the point now where it's like wow. Like there's a lot of impressive shit dropping.
Yeah. In
just this year. And that the Final Fantasy 16 also, maybe, I guess they haven't mentioned it, but Final Fantasy 7 sequel.
Yeah.
Like this year is kind of stacked.
Very much so. It makes me like think that next year is not going to be that big of a deal, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Where it's like we have like 1 year where we get like holy fuck and like plowed with games. And then the next year, it's not like there's bad games. It's just like it's a little less frequent. And we're not being like hit over the head as much with like amazing content. But I'm excited to say the least for the end of this year for multiple reasons. So it's gonna be a good ass time to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's next? Are we in the news part?
No, you didn't. You said nothing about what you played.
Oh, I thought we were about to talk about the news straight up. I pulled the news up and everything, bro.
Because we kind of were talking about some of the news.
That is
in
true.
That conversation.
I got gaslit into thinking we were in the news by myself. Well,
good.
What I played this week, I played a lot of shit. I didn't play any Overwatch this week. Let's get the
shocker.
Nobody plays anymore
because of the whole situation.
It's a little bit of that, and like I don't know, man. It just feels like nobody wants to anymore. Like there's a whole event that people missed that you get like a free skin for, and it was just like play the game to like do the event. And like I got the skin myself. That was last week, but like there's like the Pride event that just started too, and nobody's playing that. I'm like, bruh, like it feels like I'm just never gonna play this game again until the PvE shit comes out. That's not the same PvE, but it's still PvE. You know what I mean? Like when the
You gotta
story
play with
shit
those
comes
filthy
out,
randos.
I don't want to, man. It's just not as fun. Like playing with friends is the more fun part about it. But also, like everyone else is playing games that are actually fun to them. So like I can't be mad. Like there's no reason for me to like be like, man, we're not playing anymore. But I'm like, everyone's enjoying themselves playing other shit. Why the fuck would I be like, hey, come have a horrible time in Overwatch? You know, like that's fucked up, kind of. But I played a little bit of Fortnite with the new skins. I'm trying to get the quests done with the web shooters and all that jazz, but it's just very sweaty at the moment, to say the least. Once like a new item is dropped, like the web shooters, or you know, like there's a point of interest where you go buy them from Gwen on the map, like everyone's just sweating to like get that shit done.
I'm not surprised by that. Yeah.
And it's fine. I'm not mad about it. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I like having casual games of Fortnite as opposed to games where I feel like I can't just run around and have a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
everybody's try hard right now.
Exactly. And it's even in like the zero build mode, at least in solos, like because I haven't had many people to play with at the moment in Fortnite because again, people are playing other games that are worth their time. So it's like I'm sitting here and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, like I can't even sit in a bush without thinking someone's gonna snipe me for like a second. I can't like take a drink of water during a match, so I feel like I'm gonna get fucked. And it's annoying, but it's whatever. Other than that, I've started a few different games today on stream. We played a little bit more, and technically started from the top of Planet of Lana. Over on the Xbox Game Pass, it is free. It's also on Steam for a certain amount of money. I think about $20, if I'm correct. But it's good so far. Like it's beautiful. The music's great. The puzzles are simple enough to where anyone can do it, but I'm an idiot, so I fuck up a lot. So that's fun. And it's also kind of scary in the sense that it's more like Limbo was scary in the sense that it was like you don't know what it is that's in the dark, if it's alive or not. For this game, it's more of like the sense of dread of not knowing what's going on, but being attacked by technology. So it's very iRobot-y and like kind of Terminator-y, but as far as
it's like threatening, kind of scary.
Yeah, like I just feel it feels ominous. Like I'm like around every corner I could die to something and I don't know why it's happening, and that's the scariest part. But it's definitely given off vibes of Horizon with the post-apocalyptic thing. We just got to an area where we pretty much saw that someone from Earth flew a ship to this planet, and that's what this planet is. But they're like, it's like crash ships and shit, and the character you play as lives in a village that's made out of like wood over top of water. So it's like obviously these are not the same people, you know, who had all this technology. And it's very interesting. Like the robots are kidnapping people in a very like day after tomorrow vibe, where like they'll come down with the cage and grab people and like fly away. But then they'll kill the main character that you play as, Lana, on sight. So I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Like, why is Lana being killed on sight as opposed to all the other humans who are being just captured? Yeah, so it's like, that's kind of scary. You have a cat that's really cool that helps you solve the puzzles. What else has been a thing that's been very similar? With the cat can't go on water, so it's very much like The Last of Us, where you got to get a little platform for him and like, get on, Ellie, you know, the cat. And what was another game that I compared it to? It has like vine swinging over top of like little goopy stuff, like Pitfall, like you and John said in the chat. And then it also's got that little flying mechanic that I just unlocked. It's like the landing zone game. I can't remember the name of that one. There's a lot.
That one I couldn't get. That's why I was like, is it Pilot Wings?
I don't know. It was like some old, it almost looked like Asteroids, but like more lines to the ship, obviously. But you literally like pilot the ship and like use your thruster to slowly land yourself on like different areas. And I don't remember what it's called, but It was.
Would you play it on?
It was
what was it played
so
on?
long ago. I have no idea. It might even have been like
know.
a Flash game, to be honest with you. But it's similar to like it's a similar feel to like an Atari type game, like Asteroids, if that makes sense.
I got you. I got you.
But it has like all of those elements wrapped inside of it, and it's delivered in this very Limbo-esque gameplay. But also it's bright and sunny, and most of the time, and it's really nice so far. If you can play it, I highly suggest it. Go do that. And then the big game that I've been playing this week, technically 2. I started playing Assassin's Creed 3 again, which was my favorite one that I played when I was younger. Because if you have PlayStation Plus, you have the whole entire Ubisoft Assassin's Creed collection. So I was like, oh shit, I can replay the game that I loved as a kid. Dope. And then like I was playing it, and it gets to I don't know if you guys have ever, or I don't think you played the third one, right?
Which one is Black Flag?
Black Flag is the pirate one, which is what we'll get into in a second. This one's
so that's not 3 though.
No,
I forgot what number or technically that one is. I played 1, and then I didn't play a whole lot of Assassin's Creed, so I played the first one, and then I went right to Black Flag.
Okay, so then you skipped over it definitely, but in 3, you're playing as Desmond still, obviously, in the first game, if you remember him, and you pretty much go into the Animus, and you're playing as this dude who you're pretty much believing to be an assassin the entire time, until you realize that he's a Templar, and you've been playing as a Templar, and one of your like ancestors was a Templar, which are like the bad guys of the story of Assassin's Creed. So, you know, Desmond's freaking out. He's the main dude in the real world that you play as, and he's like pissed about it. But then in the story, pretty much what happens is he meets a Native American woman that he frees from like a slaving camp, and they fall in love, have a kid, and that's like the person who becomes the actual assassin of the game, and is an assassin and not a Templar. Like, he goes against the Templar shit. I didn't get there yet, because as I was playing and I was about to get to that point, I was like, why am I playing this game that I've already played and I know how it goes, when I could be playing the game Black Flag that I've been told is phenomenal and I've just never played? So I downloaded that.
That's the one.
And dude, the way you feel about Tears of the Kingdom right now is how I feel about this game, because of how big this shit is. Like, there's so many fast travel locations you can unlock on the fucking ocean as a pirate ship. And the story is interesting so far. I just got to the part where like you actually find out that the one pirate kid is a part of the assassins and the order. And I'm like, okay, that's where you're starting to see the main character, who was not a part of the assassins at all and was literally just a pirate, and killed an assassin who wanted to be a Templar and stole his clothes. And my only qualm with the game so far is that I messaged you about it. I was like, why the fuck in this first town that I'm at can I take assassin contracts when I don't know what an assassin is yet in the game chronologically? That's
I couldn't answer your question.
Only thing that I had a problem with, because I was like, if this guy was secretly an assassin, like the pirate was, like the whole time or some shit, sure, that's fine. But like, he finds out about it all where I'm at in the game right now. So at this point, he's like not necessarily a part of the Assassin's Order, but he's, you know, at least knows that they exist, and that's when they introduce the assassins.
And is still down to take the contracts.
Yeah, but that's where they introduced the contracts, and I'm like, why were they available when I was in this town? Just a dude, you know? So that was honestly a little crazy to me. I was like, the fact that you had that unlocked and I could just do that. Like, I think I did do 2 targets maybe, and I was like, okay, time to progress story. And then I got to this point, I'm like, wait, I did those already, but I didn't know what they were until this moment. What the fuck? And I was just like brain blasted, to say the least. But it's been fun. The ship play is cool. Like shooting the different types of cannons that you get off the start with the chain one, little barrels in the back and the sides, and then like overtaking a ship.
They give you a
like
lot
swinging.
more to like. They just give you a lot more to play with. in this
Oh, yeah.
one.
It's
Plus
super
the setting
fun.
is dope. Like it's just fun.
Oh yeah. The one thing I don't like about it is the guns. I don't think that they're good. Like, at least in the beginning when I still had the pistols that I stole from the original assassin, like I would shoot people by like holding L2 and doing the R2 thing. And I think there were like 3 or 4 balls in each gun, like ammunition. But like it felt like I would shoot once and then the character would immediately start reloading. And I hated that shit because I'm like, you have 3 more bullets. Why are you reloading? I didn't hit triangle to do the reload function. You're just immediately doing it in the middle of fights. And I'm like, bruh.
Just making yourself a target. Just a slow reloading target.
That's the thing that sucks about it is like they're muskets, most of them, with like powder and shit. So you have to do like the whole fucking animation before you get it back. And I'm like, it's cool that I have the guns. I just don't ever want to use them because I can literally just stand in the middle of a crowd of enemies that are fighting me, wait till one goes to swing, hit circle, it goes matrix bullet time. I hit square, I do some fucking kung fu, and then just use my wrist blade on the guy, and then that's it. That's like a one-shot kill. And I'm like, why the fuck would I ever use the guns, which sometimes aren't
like, why would you need it at that point?
Yeah, exactly. But pirate, I guess. So that's the thing.
Yeah, it's the whole aesthetic.
Yeah. I did buy the outfit that is the pirate flag. And it was funny because the whole story is like you're wearing this like outfit that you haven't earned or whatever, pretty much, so far where I'm at. And I'm like, okay, but I kind of want to like wear a different outfit. And I bought the pirate one, and like the preview of it looks like it just changes out, like it almost looks like a bandana on the chest or something. But I think because where I'm at in the game, it didn't want me to do that yet, so it gave me like an overcoat on top of the main outfit that's like a pirate logo on the back, but it's like a trench coat, and I'm like, this is sick. I like this.
You're bringing me back now. Yeah, I haven't played this since it was like new.
It was so cool. Like I was like, I look cool as fuck now, man. And then I also
look at these threads.
Exactly. And then the worst part though is since I have the Ubisoft thing, like it's with PlayStation included, you get like a free skin just for having that, I guess. And he's got like a goofy pirate hat that sits super high on his head and an eye patch, and I'm like, I want to use this. But like then the story doesn't make sense where I'm wearing someone's outfit that I shouldn't be wearing yet. Like
fuck it. I feel like that Assassin's Creed is when they stopped taking themselves like super duper serious. Like, let's have fun with it.
Especially when you're in the real world playing in first person as yourself and not Desmond anymore.
Yeah. Yep.
That was the part where I was like, what the fuck is happening? And like you get to see like that Desmond was killed, I guess in maybe it was 4 or maybe it was even in 3, I don't remember, but the dude was killed, and you see like the footage of them like getting his body, and I'm like, I'm not anybody from that family, yet I'm living that family's life in the Animus to make video games. This is a video game about me making a video game, me doing that. And it's shady as fuck. So
I feel like a whole other team came in and were just like, hey, all that stuff y'all were doing, fuck that. We have a better idea.
Yeah, but I don't like that part. So I'm immediately like, once that part's done, you know how you can like hack your other employees' computers to see like different shit? Just going straight back to my computer and hopping right back into the pirate shit. I don't give a fuck about that first person stuff at all. I just want to be a pirate. That's it. And it's good. It's good, man. It's so much fun. So
you know, the inspiration that came from that was they used that as inspiration to make Skull and Bones, which never came out. That's another one of those like lost in production games. Like that was supposed to be a huge deal.
Yeah. I feel like Sea of Thieves though kind of captures that feeling, but in a fun way, if that makes sense. Like Sea of Thieves
and that
is a cartoon.
And that was when it was supposed to like, because I remember when Sea of Thieves was announced, because it was around the time that Skull and Bones was announced. And I remember people were like, "Oh shit, Battle of the Pirate Games or whatever."
And then one came out and the other didn't.
And one came out and the other one did. The playful, like stupid playground one came out, but the big ambitious AAA serious one is nowhere to be found.
It's crazy, man. And the cool part is that at least with CFB is they had like events and shit too. Like they had the Pirates of the Caribbean event. That was fucking dope. I didn't even get to finish it, but I loved it. It was so much fun what we did play. But needless to say, I'm having so much fun with that. I needed another big game to like distract me until Spider-Man eventually comes out, because you know, what else am I gonna do? Play Overwatch by myself? Because that's not fun. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Wait, is there something coming out? We're in June now. What comes out?
What do you mean, just in general?
June was Street Fighter, Final Fantasy 16, and I feel like I'm forgetting something. Something else comes out this month.
So Diablo comes out.
Diablo
4. No, not it is 4, right? Yeah, it is. So that comes out. I actually have that in Fantasy League as well. I picked that one up.
I noted, yeah.
My favorite part about my Fantasy League shit is that all the points that I've gotten are from games that I really aren't not gonna play. So my first round pick was Tears of the Kingdom. I got 32 points from that. My second round pick was Jedi Survivor, which is a game I did play. I got 14 for that. Next was Diablo 4. That one's gonna be more than Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, hell yeah, because them reviews were crazy.
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It was my fourth round.
It's not even coming out anymore.
It's not. So that's just a big old goose egg. Alan Wake 2. I ain't gonna play that shit, but that's gonna be good. Like a Dragon Ishin. Not gonna play that shit, but it looks good. 11 points from that. Dead Island 2. Not a lot of points, but it was good. Warhammer Bolt Gun. Want to play it? I'm not spending that much money on a game I don't know shit about. Got some points from it. So, needless to say, I'm doing fucking good.
Sounds like it.
So, but other than that, it looks like also AEW comes out next month as well, so I'll be playing that for sure.
This month, we're in June.
Yeah,
now.
this month. It'll be AEW and then also Final Fantasy 16. That comes as well on the 22nd, a little bit before AEW. It's a pretty stacked month, and then after that, I do
stacked year, man. I'm telling you, I think it's a lull in the summer, but as we get deeper into the summer, but once the fall comes, it ramps right back up immediately.
True. And then next month, Pikmin 4, yo, everyone's favorite.
Yeah, crickets. Y'all hear them crickets?
I can
see that tumbleweed roll by. You know what? This wasn't in the news. There we go. Beautiful. You know what? This wasn't in the news, but that Everybody 1-2 Switch game that Nintendo just stealth dropped.
Yeah. You want to get in the news? Because I think we can get right.
Get into the this is just this. Will that be the first story?
Here's a news bumper. There. Welcome to the news. News is sponsored by our patrons. Thank you so much, patrons. Starting the news, we didn't post in the Discord at all, just because I don't think any of us give too much of a fuck.
Nah.
But take it away. Give us the rundown.
Nintendo just stealth dropped, I guess, the pre-order for. There was no commercial, no YouTube. It was just a drop. Everybody 1-2 Switch, which is the sequel to the launch title for Switch, 1-2 Switch. It's a party game. I mean, if you know about 1-2 Switch, you know what it is. But Nintendo is a weird ass company, man, with the way they do shit.
Yep.
Like, you can't knock them because they make money hand over fist with their major titles and with their consoles. But even as a Nintendo fan, I'm just like, what? I mean, you just dropped arguably your one of two of your biggest franchises, or three, I'll say, which is between Mario, Mario Kart, and Zelda. I think they're their highest selling thing. Well, no, I'm stupid. Pokemon, but that's not necessarily Nintendo. That's anyway. You just dropped Zelda, which obviously is a smash. Fine, cool. We're going into, it ain't E3 season anymore, but E3 season.
This coming and the motherfucking Game Awards, Summer Games Fest. So it's like in the middle of all the companies just dropping bangers. Like there's just bangers coming out everywhere. Yeah. And I feel like Nintendo looked around and was like, well, we dropped Zelda, so we don't have anything immediately. So for like somebody was just like, hey, put out that thing that we got on the shelf that we put up there for a rainy day. I will say,
it's like, oh yeah.
So like it's a good party game though, right? Like for like normies, I would say.
I guess.
Like for like the people that get a Switch that don't really play, like the people that get a Switch that don't play Zelda. You know what I mean? Those people, because they exist. I mean, technically, I'm a part of that group. If you want to put that in there, I played it, but I hated it. This one,
the Wii crowd, the people who still like use it as a Wii type.
Exactly, system. Yeah, like grandpas and grandmas. Yeah, and so what's the difference between this one and that? Did they drop any information about it besides just the screenshot, or is it?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Because for me, in my brain, when they say everyone won to Switch, that makes me think that it's a 4-player game instead of 2 players. Because I think that the first 1-2 Switch was 2 players exclusively, right?
I don't remember.
Okay, I think it was. Don't quote me though. But if this were me in my brain, if this was a sequel to that, I would make it like a 4-player game situation. Kind of like a Mario Party, maybe almost, where it's like you have 4 players, but some games can be 2 players and will randomly play who plays. Some games will be 3 versus 1, and then you'll have your 4 people games as well, and like 2v2s and shit. Like that would be cool, I guess. That in my brain, it's like that's what I feel like 1-2 Switch should have been in the beginning, So I don't know.
It says, hold on. Mix up your this is straight from the Nintendo website. Mix up your next get together with everybody 1-2 Switch. Grab some Joy-Con controllers or smart devices for team-based games. For team-based games that are easy to set up and feature everything from balloons to aliens and more. People at your next party can get moving and show off their teamwork in this multiplayer mashup. A mix of games and modes to keep you on your toes. Use Joy-Con controllers. I like how they always name brand the thing. Use Joy-Con controllers or smart devices, team up, and let the games begin. Split into teams and see which group can win a certain number of games first. Many games have several variations that change up the rules or add extra challenge.
Okay, so it's like
a party game.
Jackbox type situation then, but with Joy-Con.
Seems that way.
Okay. See, I think that's not as bad then. See, that's kind of cool.
I'm interested. I'm not. I guess I'm not as mad.
It is dumb the way they revealed it, and like when they revealed it, for sure. I will not lie, but like as a, like they know what it is, Like this feels like their attempt at like being Jackbox somewhat.
But my thing is, I feel like they didn't take. I feel like they don't have confidence in it.
Oh no, not in the least.
Because because as you said, it's for the normies. So then this should be fucking everywhere. There should be commercials on like Nickelodeon for this game, so it's for kids and families. And stuff. Like they should be pushing this to families.
They should be pushing this like it's a real stance.
Right. There's no reason. Like, why did we find out about this game on Twitter? I mean, we'll find out about it on Twitter because we follow those outlets. But like, that's not where the parents and kids are.
Yeah. Do it at the kids'
like where
Choice
they'll
Awards.
see it enough to grab it. Yeah, like they don't. It's not in your face enough.
I feel that. I agree entirely. Yeah.
The original 1-2 Switch was.
It was, yeah. Well, that's because it was trying to sell the system, I think. You know what I mean?
True. All right,
Like,
that makes sense.
That was introducing Joy-Cons to the world in a way that was like simple, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, what else came out with it? Did Odyssey come out with the Switch? I wasn't there for the launch of Switch. So what was like launch? Was
the
Breath
launch
of, the
of
Wild?
Switch was Breath of the Wild. That was the big
Switch.
thing. And 1-2 Switch.
So those
there
were
was
the
like
only
snipper
two
clips and little games.
Such a good game. Fucking love Snipper Clips. We need to play Snipper Clips on the channel because that's one of my favorite games. Genuinely,
cool.
I love that shit so much. I don't know why I love it so much. It just fucking, that game is so simple.
Because it's simple and you know what it was.
It's different, and you could also keep playing it over and over again, and every time it's going to be different. That's the beauty of it. I love it. Sorry, I have to gush about that game because I think it doesn't get the praise it deserves.
1-2 Switch, Just Dance 2017, Breath of the Wild, Skylanders Imaginators, Super Bomberman R, Snipper Clips, I Am Setsuna, Fast RMX.
Okay.
And the Shovel Knight collection. That was like launch day one.
Okay. That's not terrible then. Yeah, I think that the 1-2 Switch game that's coming out, honestly, I don't mean this as a joke. Maybe we look into getting and playing. Mm-hmm. Genuinely. Because if it is like a Mario Party-esque version upgrade and it's actually better, that sounds very interesting to me. Like that genuinely is like, okay, y'all are trying to compete with something now. Like you're trying to get into that party game market more than, because like obviously Mario Party is never going to be a failure game, but like more into the Jackbox scene, like more kind of like adult-ish, where you can make it adult-ish in a way if you want, because it's up to the people who have their smart devices. So it kind of gives them free reign to do what they want, and I like that.
All right, you've at least talked me off a ledge.
Yeah, I think this might.
It's $30 too. It's not like full price.
I mean, listen, I would not be opposed to trying that out. Maybe watch a video or two before just to make sure this is it's actually good, you know? Because in my brain, I'm saying this could be a really good way for them to get into a market that like will keep them in households for a while longer. That's how my brain's thinking. But also, it's Nintendo, and they could have just made the same exact game but added more controllers with phones. That's another exact thing that could have happened. So
true.
But let's get into the real news then.
All right.
Because you're yawning. I'm feeling yawns come on. So we got to get this show.
Sorry.
No, I'm also yawning. I am tired. And I need to wake up early tomorrow, which sucks eggs. But first up, we got Mortal motherfucking Kombat. Time to test the might of our servers. Help us find issues now for a flawless release in September. Sign up below on their Twitter link. Go check that out. It's I think it's gowgames.com/online stress test, I would assume is the full link. But you can go check it out there.
Just go to Mortal Kombat's Twitter page. You could find.
They might be closed by now.
Test.
If it's, I don't know. This has been a week or so. I don't know how long they keep this open for.
It's been a week. I signed up for it because hopefully I get picked and then we can fuck around.
I would love to play this game a little bit before it came out, because I think Mortal Kombat is more in vein with my fighting type games where you can button mash and it's not super frowned upon because different things happen. Maybe.
True that.
What we got next?
Naughty Dog put out a statement because fans were very much expecting, me included, to see the Last of Us factions or Last of Us multiplayer game, whatever they plan on doing, at the PlayStation showcase, and it didn't show up. And obviously this has been on the slate for years now, since Last of Us 2. So they put out a statement. It says, Last of Us fans, we know many of you have been looking forward to hearing more about our The Last of Us multiplayer game. We're incredibly proud of the job our studio has done thus far, but as development has continued, we've realized what is best for the game is to give it more time. Our team will continue to work on this project as well as our other games in development, including a brand new single-player experience we look forward to sharing more soon. We're grateful to our fantastic community for your support. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for your passion for our games. It continues to drive us. Now, as soon as that came out, we got a little bit more insight on it. Jason Schreier of Bloomberg put up, Naughty Dog has significantly scaled down the team on its Last of Us multiplayer project. Sources say as it reassesses the game. Following Bloomberg's request for comment, the company put out a Twitter statement today saying the game was delayed. Following that, we get a little more. Jeff Grubb, known insider in gaming, all I've heard about this game is that it looks a lot like a studio's first live service game, and that Naughty Dog wanted to do things its way, which maybe didn't bode well for Factions. So now there's rumors saying, oh no, is it going to be canceled or is it just delayed? They said people was like falling off of the project. We don't know the state of this game anymore. It started out as one thing and now it's not looking like the thing that they wanted it to be.
While all that sucks, I don't think I was ever looking forward to this as like a project. Not to like shit on it, but like
no, because I'm in the same boat. I wasn't necessarily saying I can't wait for this, but yeah. I do know there was an audience. Like people loved Factions from the first one.
I didn't even play it, but like it was one of those things where it's like I played the first one and I was like, holy shit, this is a beautiful game. I love this so much, blah blah blah. And then like, you know, I would watch videos on it and shit and like theories videos, but I never saw anything about the first Factions game. I just thought in my brain before I like realized like, oh fuck, I just missed a completely like a thing that existed. I thought this was the first time they were ever doing it.
Oh no.
Right here. So like
one of my friends like
not even
played this shit every night. Their multiplayer, Damn. The original multiplayer. I think that's why it's such a big story right now, because it had like it had a following.
All right.
Plus with the show and everything, people just want to get back into this world.
I feel that. I will say, with all that being said, one statement that is very interesting in the actual original statement that they released was one sentence where they said, including a brand new single player experience.
Yeah, I want to know what that is.
So did we get DLC for Last of Us 2? Not yet.
No, because everybody thought it was going to be multiplayer, and then they came out and said we're going to spin that off into a brand new full game, like its own game.
So this could be more story shit for Last of Us 2. And if we're going off of what The Last of Us 1's DLC was, it seemed to be somewhat of like a prequel situation. Well, I mean, it was. It seemed to be it was. I could see us getting some prequel type shit for this and playing as someone we haven't played as. Or maybe Joel again. One of those two.
But see, the words a brand new single player experience makes me think it's not Last of Us.
I think it might be a part of like the Last of Us thing, because it's their team. It's the Last of Us team, I would assume this statement is coming from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could see that.
I could be wrong as well. And it could just be a completely new game too.
Or is it just The Last of Us 2 again, remade from the ground up for PS5 like they did the first one?
I'd kind of be. This is the thing. I would be disappointed in that if it was.
I would too.
Because like.
But you know that's going to come, especially when the second season of the show is going to drop.
For sure. It's going to come soon, obvious. My main thing is like. Last of Us 2 never got a DLC at all. And I feel like there's a bunch of shit they could have like dove into and got given us as like prequel stuff or stuff that happened in between, or even after the game, some stuff. Or maybe we play as Dina. Like that's what I was thinking. I had like something where we play as Dina that's like something kind of important to the story somehow. I don't know. But or even bring back Joel. Just have a Joel DLC. It's like a flashback of something like how they did with the scene in the museum. Something like that. Like give me like another one of those where it's like maybe 6 to 10 hours long of story bullshit, and that's all I need. That's all I need. I don't want a remake yet. We don't need it.
We don't need
release it with the next season of the show at the same time. Do a coupon code each week where they give away Steam codes or some shit. But are we good with that? We can move on, I think, or no?
Yeah, I think we can move on.
All right. Next up, a John Wick game is in early development. I'm excited for that.
Interesting.
Did you still haven't seen the most recent John Wick, have you?
I ain't seen the most recent one, no. How I saw this, and I feel like a John Wick game is the most obviously this should be a video game type thing.
Yeah.
They did put out a John Wick game called John Wick Hex. I think it was like it's like a tactics almost game. I forgot what it was released on though.
That would make sense for John Wick. I think that makes sense. Oh yeah.
But tactics game?
Yeah, it makes sense in theory.
John Wick Hex.
I like the style.
Shit.
Yeah, it's an action-packed, fast-paced strategy game.
Yeah. It looks like almost they took influence from like PS1 graphics. It looks like not Resident, it was like Metal Gear Solid, the first one.
Yeah. I like it. I like the look of it. It is $20, never mind. Too rich for my blood. I'm cheap, baby. But yeah, I think they could make a really cool John Wick game though. If it's in the lore within the movies, I think that'd be even better. And I think that'd be something that they would be interested in doing. Like that studio. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just want to like just be done right, man. Please.
Oh yeah.
Give it to the right studio, do the right shit. Like don't waste this property. Don't have it just be a quick cash out, please.
Yeah. I mean, it could. I wouldn't mind it if it was like a quick cash out situation, kind of like the old Matrix games. Remember those where it was like technically canon to the universe, but like they weren't shit good games. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. But like the story mattered. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't mind getting a game like that again.
It would, but that ties my hands because if the game is bad, but the story matters.
Yeah.
So now I have to suffer through a bad game to get the story. Like now I don't care about the story now.
I mean, you played The Last of Us, so
that game's not bad.
The gameplay is terrible in The Last of Us.
Oh, it is. I don't agree with that. I don't think that gameplay is terrible. All
you're doing is crouching as a 60-year-old man. His knees were not replaced before the zombie apocalypse. I'm sorry.
Now is Last of Us very deliberate with movement and all that stuff? Yeah. But I don't think it's bad game. Like, I don't think it plays bad. I think it plays intentional. I enjoy my time with Last of Us. It's because they're like
scenes.
Because they're experiences. You're pretty much playing a movie, but it's like,
yeah. I feel you. I'm not a fan. It's too slow. Like I like stealth games, but damn, these games are slow. You know what I mean? Like I hate having to wait for like a loop of something. You know when your enemies loop in a circle like around a fucking tree and you're in like a bush that's on this side of the tree. And you gotta wait for them to come around so you can grab them and that bullshit. At least in Assassin's Creed in games like Ghost of Tsushima, the NPCs walk at a pace that makes sense. The fucking like the clickers and stuff, they're so slow. And like it's on purpose, but like I'm waiting there so long just to like maybe hit the fucking shiv. You know, like it's too slow. It's too slow. That's it. My only issue. I'm sorry.
You ain't gotta apologize. You're allowed to have your own tastes.
I'll do Last of Us as my save before 5 and just fucking roast the gameplay.
Yeah, we might blow up off that shit because everybody will be so mad at the video.
We're gonna get hate.
That shit might get passed around. Yeah, hell yeah. It should be all over Twitter. Look at this asshole talking about Last of Us.
This guy's such an asshole. He's talking shit on the game. That means he hates. You know where I'm going with this.
Yes, I do. What does he know about gaming?
Gaming. Exactly. That's where I was going. Yeah. But yeah, that's cool. I want John Wick game. Give me please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next
Be
up,
good.
we kind of already talked about this.
Street Fighter. As you know, Street Fighter 6 was released. Prior to release, we had a list of all the game reviews. Needless to say, we don't even need to go down all of them. The lowest score out of 10 it got was a 9.
Yeah.
And the one outlet that gives up a 5 score got 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Metacritic, it's a 92. OpenCritic's a 91. Long story short, Street Fighter is a good game across the board.
I would buy it if I think that I would play well at it, but I don't think I will. So
not bad.
I'll live vicariously through you.
Yeah.
Another game review that came out a little bit earlier than I expected it to, because it came out the same exact day as those last scores, was Diablo 4 scores. And similarly, the lowest score is a little bit lower, with both GameStop and Destructoid giving it an 8, but pretty much everything else is 9s across the board. There is a 4 out of 5 from VGC as well. OpenCritic of 89 and Metacritic of 88. So technically a little bit worse than Street Fighter, which is really not expected, if I'm gonna be honest.
A little bit worse is still a fantastic game.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where
it comes out Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm gonna get points from that. Points. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, man.
Next up, what do we got?
Shout out to Ryan, your brother Ryan. He put out his gym has a podcast. Go check that out. Controlled Chaos.
I don't think that he's doing anything like on it besides being like a host, if I'm correct. I could be wrong, and he might have mentioned it, but I think like the graphics are being like, if you look at the thumbnail on the very right is the video audio guy, and he's very good at what he does, very much so. And then the top left is the boss, and then the left is another trainer that is also another bodybuilder as well. But it was a good first episode. I listened to it very much. I think I got to like 50 minutes and I had to stop it for some reason. But around 24 minutes, there was a very good joke. So make sure you go check that out and see that joke. If you know, you know. So, I'll leave it at there, so maybe they get some more views.
Hell yeah.
After that, speaking of Ryan, he also posted that Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation 2 just came out on Steam, and apparently it's free, I think he was saying.
Oh, wow.
So that's a thing. I want to go check Steam to confirm that, but I'm also like, I don't know. Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operations. It is free. Crazy. It's a free-to-play team battle action game based on the Mobile Suit Gundam series. Whether by land or by space, lay waste to your foes using either your favorite mobile suit or roam the battlefield as infantry to capture important objectives. So
yeah,
it's a third-person over-the-shoulder shooter. Kind of looks like what was the one mech game back on PS1? And I think they're doing the remake of it.
Yeah, Armor Core.
Armor Core. It looks very much like an Armor Core game, but with specific characters from Gundam.
Okay, I can see how that will work.
I will be downloading this. It's a 6v6 game. This might be my Overwatch replacement if I can actually get people to play fucking games. Crazy. Holy shit. So yeah, I'm literally gonna queue that for download after this. Let me do that right now. Just have that up on the side. Hell yeah. What do we got next?
Well, I guess this can lead us into our Spiderverse conversation. Breaking news from thedirect.com. A live-action Miles Morales Spider-Man movie is now in development at Sony, which, I feel like who didn't see that coming? But yeah, it's been officially confirmed. And
do you think that what happened in a certain thing will happen in that movie?
Yeah. I feel like this is all going to culminate into this.
Okay.
In fact, I feel like they should talk. It's really hard to talk about this without spoiling this movie.
We're not gonna be able to do this. I'm gonna end up spoiling something, man, and I'm gonna feel so bad.
When they showed someone specifically in this movie. I was like, there it is. There it is.
So my opinion on that specific event is that I said it happened here, so we're not going to get it anywhere else, and this is the only place we're going to get it. That's what.
But this is the second time we got him.
But that's with how the movies in the MCU have gone. I feel like we've skewed so far away from that it won't matter. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. This is hard. We need to move on because I'm gonna spoil some shit.
All right, let's talk about it very surface level, right?
It's the best Spider-Man movie ever made.
It is. I'll agree with that. It is the best Spider-Man movie, period.
Yes.
And it is like I said this in the chat last night. This is the best animated anything I've ever seen. Like, it is such a technical achievement in animation. It's ridiculously impressive.
It is in my top 5 movies of all time as well. And that's not even a recency bias thing. That's just objective. Like,
everyone I know
hit every single beat it needed to. Perfectly. Twists, turns, visuals, acting, everything. What else do you need from a movie? It's a 10 out of 10 movie. Yeah.
Everybody knew who walked. Obviously, us in our Discord. Elijah hit me up today because he took his son to see it today. He was like, "Yo," he's like, "That's one of the best movies I've ever seen." Like, period. And he's like, "Well, this year." He's like, "Matter of fact, it's probably one of the best things I've ever seen." Period.
Yeah. I literally put this like on my like top 5, if not. It's the one thing that's hard to do is compare this to the first movie, though, because the first movie is
different.
My favorite movie ever, and then also my favorite Spider-Man movie ever, and it was perfect. This one adds upon the perfection, so it's one of those things where I'm like, is this really better than that when it's technically using so much from that? I feel bad dethroning something that was the originator. You know what I mean?
I think that's fine though, because it's not that tone wise it's different. They didn't have to build you up. Like you know who this is. Good, well done.
Good night.
You know who this is.
Tip your bartenders.
The end of the show. You know who this person is. You know who this other person is. And it's like you said, it's just a building on top. Yeah. But I don't think it's not just the fact that the groundwork is laid. It's the fact that everything was ramped up. It's the storytelling is improved. The art is improved. The music is improved. The tone is improved. It's like the first one, but on steroids.
Can I make an outlandish statement?
Mm-hmm.
I think this movie proves perfectly why I think the Mario movie wasn't good in comparison in my brain. Because if you remember, my one thing about the Mario movie is that it didn't feel like a movie to me. It felt like an I Spy or a reference thing where you just keep looking for the little cameos and little Easter eggs. It was Easter egg hunt. This movie, Across the Spiderverse, is that Easter egg hunt, but with so much depth to it at the same time. So like, it proves you can do both without giving up the immense depth that this movie has comparatively.
Comparatively, do I think that this is better than Mario? Of course. But at the same, I don't think they're trying to achieve the same things though.
That's completely fine.
I think Mario is made the way it's made on purpose.
True. But also, like, they could have told a good story. They could have.
Mario doesn't have a good story. There is no story.
I know, but you can write a good story still.
But then it's not Mario.
If it has a good story, it's not Mario? Is that the rule? What about Odyssey?
What Mario game has a good story? That's not the same story.
None. So that's why you do it in the movie.
No, but then you're deviating already.
Deviate. Because it needs to be good.
Also, this, like, Spider-Man is built off of so much canon Again, Mario has no canon. The only
has
canon
plenty
in Mario
of cannons. They shoot bullet bills.
the only. Well done again. But the only canon of Mario is that he has to save the princess, and he has or the characters.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is this movie is the culmination of decades of comic books.
True. But also that it doesn't discount the fact that Mario's story was bad. You can write a good story. It's just
if they made Mario deep and penetrating in depth, then I'd be like, this isn't.
It doesn't even have depth per se. But here's the thing. If you wrote a better reason why Bowser needed to take over the castles, besides the fact that he's trying to woo Peach, that could be an entirely different movie. But Bowser would have a motivation instead of just being horny. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the Peaches song, but I would trade the Peaches song for a story where I feel threatened by Bowser, and I feel like Bowser might win.
That Mario movie was made for 10-year-olds.
I agree. So was this technically.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. It's a kid's
this movie.
It's a kid's movie through and through, man.
The way, the depth, I get the messaging in this movie, but this movie is more so like across the board. Everybody, like adults can watch this and take something from it.
It's like
adults
Pixar
can watch Mario
movie.
and take, huh?
It's like a Pixar movie.
Mario wasn't Pixar, clearly. Because the story would have been they would have added unnecessary depth to it.
Just because Illumination made the Minions doesn't mean they can't make good movies. They made the first Despicable Me, and it was a good story.
I think you're expecting more from something that has no more to give you than it gave you.
I was just expecting to be entertained by a story. One that I knew.
It had its own kind of story.
It's the same thing with this Spider-Man movie. It's the canon.
You can these movies are incomparable. They're not the same thing. Like I can see if you compare this to a different superhero movie.
I'm just saying it's animated movie. Technically, an animated movie is normally targeted towards kids. While this is targeted towards everyone, it's an animated movie, so 90% of people in the world aren't seeing it because it's for kids because it's animated. That's just the way it is, sadly.
This movie is way darker than
I agree.
Mario.
But the Mario movie could have had a little
I can understand the comparison of Mario and a Pixar movie or Mario and Despicable Me, but the Mario movie can't be compared to this Spider-Man movie. To this Spider-Man movie, it definitely can't.
I don't know. There might have been an Italian Spider-Man in that movie somewhere. We just didn't.
I'm sure there was somewhere in that movie.
I'm Petoli Parker. Parkah.
Parker. There is so much about this movie. There's so much to talk about. We're not going to do it yet.
Yeah.
Give you all a week.
Diverting to the Mario thing so I don't spoil more stuff for the main movie because I know I will.
We don't have to talk about any more of it.
I want to talk more about it.
I know. It was great.
So much. Oh man. What was up next in the news? Next up, there's a new Netflix AAA game coming. It's got Joseph Staten from Halo and Xbox, Raf Dressati, formerly of God of War and PlayStation. He recently retired, I believe. Not retired, but left there. I think I saw on Twitter. Chaco Sony from the executive producer of Overwatch. Rest in peace. Jerry Edsall from Gears 4 and 5. It's a new IP, multi-platform, new world, quote, with deep mysteries and endless adventures. So
that's interesting.
New World sounds interesting to me because I always remember there was like Twitch metas back in the day where like you would play specific games that were like popular at the time, and one of them was like a New World type game where you're just like RPing and like existing in this new life, kind of like The Sims, but you are the person. So that'd be kind of cool. They could kind of like make it go anywhere too, and almost like a Disney Dreamlight Valley it almost with like their properties, like Stranger Things and shit.
I'm just like, all right. Clearly, they have experience on deck. They hired experience.
Yeah.
People who have made quality product in video games. High quality product in video games. New IP, multi-platform, new world. I'm confused. Is Netflix producing the game, funding the game? This is a new Netflix AAA. So is it on Netflix's thing? Like how this game? That's my question.
I think it's just kind of like Netflix has fuck you money. So they're going to make a fuck you game and see if they can compete in the gaming industry. Maybe they're just a publisher.
If I turn on my, so if this is multi-platform, like it says, so I turn on my PlayStation, click this game, and then like all the companies who made it, and then the Netflix logo will come up.
Yeah, I think that this might even, you know how Netflix has games installed already, like mobile games.
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
why this one confuses me more because that makes sense.
But like in theory,
I don't
they
think
could
so.
do that, just not have it on mobile. Like have it run through the Netflix app, but it's not a mobile situation. I wouldn't think it would be mobile. Maybe it'd be mobile. They have Call of Duty mobile.
So if it's all,
so
if it's multi-platform,
yeah.
I have to go on the Netflix app on my PlayStation to play it.
That's what, if I were Netflix, I would do that. Because you want the people in your app, even if it's just a game you're producing. If it's something like the things that they have in the live service Netflix app already, you know, like with the mobile apps, because they could just put that in there with them. It would be much different and be like, what, this is kind of jarring. But they are Netflix. They can do whatever they want. They've never done a game before, so they have the absolute wherewithal to do whatever they fucking please and test it. And if they fail, then they'll put out Stranger Things 4 and 5 again. I don't know.
All right.
I'm
curious to hear more.
Like, Netflix walking in the house like, who would have thought we were AAA?
Right. The fact that it's a AAA game too. I can see if this said they're just making a game, like another mobile game. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Even if they had these big names, I'm like, all right, well, this is probably going to be a quality thing. But the fact that it's AAA, multi-platform, new IP, like all that shit, that's some big shit. And you got these names, these people who worked on these like classics to come over here to work on it. I'm very interested to see what this is and how it works.
Up, man, we're gonna break down into something that you have to read out loud because it's your turn for the news.
Did I have to read out loud?
Yeah. So I'm gonna see how well you can get through this.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit. AEW Fight Forever Elite Edition was announced. The AEW Fight Forever Elite Edition includes access to even more AEW wrestlers and over-the-top minigames, including the AEW Fight Forever Matt Hardy pack, which includes 2 of the many Matt Hardys, Matt Hardy and Broken Matt Hardy. The AEW Fight Forever FTR Revival pack, which includes AEW wrestlers Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, plus minigames, Join Us and Death Race X. The AEW Fight Forever Limitless Bunny Bundle, which features the AEW wrestlers The Bunny and Keith Lee, plus minigames MJF Carr, Thrash, and Sloth Sling. The AEW Fight Forever Hookhausen Very Handsome, Very Evil pack, which features AEW wrestlers Hook and Danhausen. You son of a bitch.
It's Hook. Like Hook.
I get, the housing part fucked me up with the
very nice,
part.
Very evil, man. It's Danhausen. So yeah, those are a bunch of the character packs we're getting in the game. This is the Elite Edition. It's about an extra $10-15, I think, on top of the main price. Biggest takeaways here that you can look forward to is that this game is not a WWE 2K game. This is not a simulation game. This is an arcade game. based on WWF No Mercy, worked on by the same studio that made that game, Ukes.
Yep.
So this game is not only going to be a wrestling game, there's a single player mode where you literally go in and pick any AEW wrestler on the roster and you work your way through the company to become the champion. Then there's also just playing, fighting your friends and doing that stuff. And mini games on top of that. These are 4 that are being added in DLC. There's already ones that are in the main game. There's even more clips that I put down below where there's a whole entire skateboard as a weapon you can use.
That shit was wild.
And ride. And the biggest thing about that clip and on top of that was this is the first video game for wrestling that we've gotten where the men can fight the women. They've never done that before because most of the time you don't want a man hitting a woman in a video game because that doesn't look good. But on the indie circuit of wrestling, like people like in the basements of like pool houses and like rec centers and shit, people wrestling around like the States and shit for like because it's a passion and they want to get to WWE and AEW, they do intergender matches because you can fight each other. It's play fighting, really. It's not a big deal. So this is the first game we get to do that in. And I'm excited about that. Because I always wanted to play as certain female characters and beat the shit out of other dudes before. Because that just looks fucking insane. And like have my main character be a chick and get the main WWE title and not the women's one. Like that sounds like so much fucking fun to do that instead. Or like be a dude and go after the women's title and just be like, it's mine. Just like some asshole heel. That would be sick.
Of course.
That'd be so much fun. And you can do it, kinda. And then there's also mini games. I can't wait for the evil Hookhausen pack. Very handsome, very evil.
Hookhausen.
Hook. You get it wrong, he's gonna come after you. Put you in the red room.
Anybody who's very handsome and very evil coming after me.
Well, the very evil is Danhausen. He's also handsome, but he's not like, he's not very handsome like Hook, I forget the name of his song, but his theme song is great. But yeah, it's very funny to me because you're getting Street Fighter 6, and that'll be like my way to play that, and I'm getting this, and this, and me getting this.
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna play it.
Exactly. So it works out amazing.
I'm totally down. It does. It definitely does.
Next up in the news,
hold that thought. I gotta run something upstairs.
All right, I will be here. I don't think there's anybody in chat, so I'm alone.
There's no one here. Yeah.
It is a Friday night. We are alone.
True. That says a lot. I'll be right back.
So, Robbie posted from Wario64 on Twitter, Midnight Ghost Hunt is free on the Epic Games Store. Another mystery game is set to be the next free title. I don't know what this game is, but it seems like a spooky game, and I don't play those.
Apparently there's a mystery game thing going on in the Epic Game Store, so
hell yeah. I haven't really grabbed many of their free games.
Glued.
I think they do one like every single month. It's just like, hey, you have an Epic's game account? Here you go. Here's a game. And I just don't even have the Epic Game Stores on my PC. So I should probably fix that. Get some free games and shit. Next up, we got more details about a little old Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 game info. Yes, so they did interviews with Game Informer. Insomniac did some interviews with some gaming outlets, and this is the information they gave out about the game. When you are in the open world, you are free to play as either Peter or Miles at the push of a button. During the main story, Insomniac controls when you switch between Miles and Peter. Okay, I get it. Content designed around Miles' open world. The content designed around Peter is an open world. Content where you can play as either. Wait. Okay,
There's
I got
content for all three of them.
There's content for all three scenarios, right? And there are 3 skill trees present: one for Peter, one for Miles, and one shared between the two. The demo was from crazy. The demo is from an earlier build that we saw during the PlayStation showcase. It's a balance between a lighthearted and a dark story. The symbiote suit will have a serious impact on Peter. We said that one. The game is twice the size of the original, and it includes Queens and Brooklyn. And that is the new information we have on that game. That is, I can't wait.
I can't wait to see how badly Peter gets fucked up by Miles.
That is like they make that pretty much evident that showdown is going to go down, and that is going to be crazy.
Dude, it's going to be so good, man. I can't wait for this game. Like, not only was Across the Spiderverse so good, and I now cannot wait till the third part. Mm-hmm. Now I have to wait for this now. I have double the spider wait. This is bullshit.
This is a good year.
It's a good year, but another thing that was funny, it's not funny, but I was talking to Trevor in the theater when we went and saw it, and he's like, don't tell me that they make these like not fast. I'm like, it was a decent amount of years in between this and the other one, you know, like it's not, and there's nothing to slouch about. He's like, oh fuck, I have to wait that long for the next part. And I'm like,
no, it's next year.
Well, it might not be.
Really?
Because there's a Writers Guild strike
right
now.
Fuck, you're right.
Yeah. For me, I was like, I don't think that they've done any of the animation yet for the next part, even though it's supposed to be next year, and originally. But then also at the same time, Writers Guild strike. So any changes that they would want to make, they can't do, because when the Writers Guild is on strike, you cannot make changes to scripts. I don't know if video games fall into the same category as that. They might be adjacent, but also the writers from the video games might, you know, stand in support of the film writers. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But that might impact it. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
yeah,
I'm excited for this game. I will literally become gone from the planet when this game comes out.
Don't ask me to do anything, be anywhere.
I feel like if we do the podcast that week, we just need to do it while we're both playing the game. Like, it's not even gonna be a podcast, it's just gonna be you and I be like, yo, look what I just did, or some shit, and it's just us separately playing the same game at different points.
We do that thing we did when I forgot what you were playing, and I was playing like that Shovel Knight Dig game, and our gameplay was on the screen.
That'd be cool.
We just talk over it.
Dude, we could make both of us, one person plays Peter, one person plays Miles, and we just focus those story missions at the same time, like, because we're separate from each other and shit. Bruh, that'd be it right there.
See, that's when they could have done the whole multiplayer thing, because I can just find you in the city and then go do shit.
That'd be so fucking. I'm sad that it's not the case, but I'm also like, I don't care. I would have played it single player anyway too, as well. I probably would have done co-op and single player, so that's whatever. But I can't wait for this game. But next up in the news, the MetaQuest 3 VR headset was announced. It's launching this fall, about $500, give or take $1. Take it specifically. And that's for the 128 gigabyte version. The highest resolution display, next generation Snapdragon chipset, more than 2 times as powerful as the Quest 2, 40% slimmer, ladies, and redesigned controllers. So these controllers just look like the what's it called? The ones that I currently have. Like, they look the exact same.
They do. Oh yeah.
There's not much of a difference besides the ones that I have, and it has like that ring around the front where your like fingers go through, and then also got a slight bend to it, like almost like a normal PlayStation controller has like the bend down for PS4, DualShock 4.
Yeah.
Is it DualShock 4 or is it DualShock 3? 4.
For the bend? I think it's 4.
I think it's 4 when they introduced it, I could be wrong. Either way, I don't think I'm in the market for another VR headset, personally. That's not something I'm looking for. I kind of don't use the one that I have currently as much as I'd like to. But that's just because there's not many VR games that are like, play me now, you know?
Right.
So
I agree. I don't, there's, so far I have there's nothing making me want to immediately go get a VR headset.
Yeah.
And I'm still waiting for that thing. I'm not against it. I just need something that's going to make me want like, oh, well, I need this now.
I feel that.
And I feel like that hasn't happened yet.
I feel like when I eventually have my own place, I'll be using it a lot more because I would, bring it out for like get-togethers and shit. Because I would want to host people, so I would be like, hey, we have options. We can do this, and VR, and then it would be there as an option. So I'd like to do that in theory, but just, you got to show all of your friends VR porn.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't like it.
Stop touching me.
Shit, they get in your ear, man. It's fucking weird, dude. I think I told that story on the Patreon a while ago, maybe.
I think so.
It was just super fucking weird. All right, moving on.
No. Well, there was a price drop for Forspoken. If you're still in the market for that game, it is $35 on the PlayStation Store right now. So it's literally half off. And I feel like as the year goes on, it'll be even lower.
True.
Even though they say the update to it made it tolerable, I guess. I literally just deleted the demo off my PlayStation because I needed room for Street Fighter.
Nice. I don't think I'm gonna play that game ever, and it's not even like talking shit on it. It's just like I played the demo, and I was not impressed. And then it came out, and the scores didn't impress me. So I'm like, my opinion was already not great, and that was just the beta. Then it came out, and it was saying it was not great. So I'm like, okay, that's 2 strikes. I'm not spending $60 to fucking make sure that there's a 3rd strike. Even half is too much for me. But that's just sense.
I understand.
What else we got here? The Across the Spiderverse soundtrack was released today for the movie. Obviously, because the movie came out today. It's a phenomenal soundtrack. Top to bottom, that whole movie is gorgeous. I'm gonna see it again Sunday, I think.
That whole movie, and as always, like all the music was good. Like I'm like, damn, this shit sounds good.
So
but you already know that because the first one was good.
This scene that's on the picture that we sent. I had a moment where I was like, how are they doing this?
How are they doing it from a technical standpoint, or as them in the movie?
Spider people, the characters in this movie. How are they doing this? Because they are sitting upside down on the ledge of a building. And the way they get there is with their hands and feet. But then Miles sits like crisscross applesauce. Feet's not touching the ground anymore, and he's using his hands to talk. Then Gwen completely takes her hands off, and her feet are dangling upwards.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know.
And like, it's fine. It's a beautiful scene. But my brain was just like, are their asses sticky? Like, genuinely. Is this what they're telling me? Is that the spider little feelers that Tobey Maguire got his fingers are coming out they asses too?
It's all over their body, apparently. But this
my
also got me.
Is that put Doggy out of the question with regular people?
I don't know. Can they like retract it? Can they like not have that when they don't want it?
No sticky.
I'm assuming they can just. I'm assuming they can, because obviously when you're learning to be Spider-Man, he's always like getting his hands stuck to shit and everything. But I feel like once he gets it down, he knows how to like not have it stick.
Can you imagine if their asses were sticky though? Like, we missed out on so many good scenes in the first movie then, of when Miles tried to go to the bathroom and then he stood up and the entire toilet came with him.
Yes, and the water sprayed out from the bottom of it and everything.
It's just like, is this what a bidet is? Like, it writes itself. Like, you know? They should have done that. I'm sad.
That's a badam.
But damn. But we have one more piece of news after that. And then
wait. I have a question. Like, so, because I was thinking this in the movie, when she's, this is not a spoiler for everybody listening, when she's walking around
this building,
like the stone part and just sticking to the bottom. I'm like, so are the sneakers sticky? Like, how does that work?
Here's the thing. They just don't want us to think about that, I think, because it's a movie where things happen that I can't say out loud because they're spoiled. In the first movie, let's just say there's a talking pig, you know, like.
But it doesn't even have to be this Spider-Man. It, like in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, there was a scene where he was crawling up the wall, but he has shoes on.
Mm-hmm. They just kind of want you to suspend your disbelief there. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, but I love it. It's also funny to me because, like, if you think about it, that's the most confusing power that he has. Because, you know, the web shooters that he has to make, that makes more sense of being a natural thing with, like, Toby's situation, you know? Like, you have the ability to create webs. That makes more sense naturally than you can crawl on walls wearing any clothes over top of your direct skin. You know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of confusing because why does he have to make web shooters? But he can do that. It's
whenever he's doing that stuff in a regular, like his Peter or his Miles self, it's just like, but how? Like when Miles was trying to, also not a spoiler, when Miles was trying to get quickly to where he had to go in the beginning of the movie to meet his parents, and he ran under that thing, the bridge. How were you had on like sneakers and shit, like
I don't know. Here's the thing, I don't know, this could actually just be a thing that we could you know, I'm gonna Google it. How does Miles stick to walls with shoes on? Literally the first thing that just popped up. All right, how does Spider-Man stick to wall? There's a whole fucking video, Jesus Christ. Okay, so he doesn't. His wall crawling ability is him increasing the molecular attraction between his body and the surface he's touching. The ability works through thin layers of material, but sometimes something as thick as shoes. Spider's costume has some padding on the feet similar to a ballerina slipper, but not actual sole shoes. That. Okay, so Ant disappeared because his computer blue screened. I'm just gonna wait here until he gets back. I like the pause screen though that I got to experience for a little bit here. So if there is anybody in chat, thanks for hanging out. If not, hi. Oh, Ant's gone. Now there's two of me. This is my nightmare.
I need you to unmute yourself because I'm not in Zoom anymore. Oh wait, let me go to Zoom. Hold on. Let's see if I can get back in there.
Thank you, because I don't want my. Can you turn your camera on? Can you turn your camera on? You can't hear me verbally, but can you?
Yo.
Hello.
Yeah, that was some freaky shit, dog.
Are you able to turn your camera on still or no?
Oh, my camera's not on? I didn't even realize that.
No, there's just two of me on stream.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
Just talking, and my computer, all of a sudden when you were talking, it was like, and then blue screen. I was like, the fuck?
Jesus. Did you see like an error code message or anything or no?
I didn't record it. It had like, it didn't say exactly what happened, but it just had the code.
It's just like an error and then like the percent to come back. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, once the Twitch stream's over, I'll download it and then I'll.
Yeah, because I was like, well, I don't have that now.
Yeah. That'll be fun to do before bed.
I know. We're at the end too.
Yeah. And we're not even streaming on YouTube, so we can't even download the YouTube video audio from like YouTube to MP3. Let's just end it with our final story because besides the fact that Ant's PC just blue screen, PlayStation, the blue screen people, released their new monthly games for June. So we got NBA 2K23 for both PS5 and PS4. We got Jurassic World Evolution 2 for PS5 and PS4, and then also another game that kind of flew under the radar and didn't do as well as we thought, Trek to Yomi. for PS5 and PS4. So
Yeah.
one of the first months, I believe, that we got something that every single game is both consoles. So very clear signs that we're moving closer towards no more PS4 stuff very, very soon.
Very, very true.
Which is cool to see. I'm glad to see it because I have it next to me still, and it needs to be put away. So
It's yeah.
But needless to say, it's ironic that your computer blue screen there because that's the end of the news.
That's why I said we were at the end. I don't.
Yeah, and we lost that whole entire audio file.
Yeah, I don't have that now.
Yeah, it
It's just
doesn't
gone.
exist anymore.
Didn't we start this talking about technical difficulties?
We did.
God damn.
Maybe we said it 3 times like Beetlejuice and we just got like fucked over.
Oh, you
God
want
damn.
technical difficulties? I gotcha. Hold on.
That's 2.
Fuck,
You're gonna
you're
blue
right.
screen again.
Stop. No, I don't need
Before the
this
end
to
of
blue
this.
screen again.
Oh man. All those Gmod shits you gotta download to your computer.
I told him last time, I was like, yo, don't download anything on this computer until I clear some space and I install the other hard drive that's just been sitting on my desk for months.
Well, it's been a hell of a podcast, and we ended it on a very interesting note, to say the least.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to be talking about motherfucking Across the Spiderverse in detail. Spoilers flying left and right. And the funny part is, without even talking about story, and we could just talk so many spoilers for hours that aren't even story related.
Yep.
And that's so cool.
It
I
is.
like that. But needless to say, phenomenal movie.
I was like, there was parts of that movie where I was just like, I know Chris is going wild watching this because there were certain things like I caught a lot, but
Yeah.
I also know you're way deeper into Spider-Man than I am. So I was like, I was impressed by the shit that I knew I wasn't catching. I'm just like, I know there's a million things that's probably coming across the screen that means so much more to somebody like you. I was like, I wish I knew what those things were.
There's a lot of stuff that was like deep cut for me, and I was like, oh fuck, multiple times. One of which that I was talking to CLD about it, ironically, and it was regarding 2099 and Miguel O'Hara in the movie. And I was like, well, did you see this in the background? And he's like, oh no, that was the thing. I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be for the next movie. Blah 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 blah. No spoilers here, bitch. I mean, I guess one of the spoilers is that Miguel doesn't die because next movie, but whatever.
Right.
So, but goddamn. All I know, my main thing. Is it a spoiler to say who you think your standout character was of the whole movie?
Unless that character wasn't in any kind of promotional anything. Like if you don't know they exist before you see the movie, then yeah, it's a spoiler.
So then they were. Spider-Punk was my favorite thing about this movie.
Oh yeah, he was fucking dope.
Every single time he was on screen, he stole my attention. There was like multiple times, like it's the where they first meet, obviously. I was not paying attention to anything except for how cool he was and how everything he was doing was so cool, and the animation style and everything. It was just perfect.
Miles even says it.
Yeah.
Which was one of the best lines in the movie.
Yeah. God damn, man.
Oh, next week we will spoil stuff and say things like people said.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you guys next time. I'm not going to play the theme song or anything. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Wait, we didn't do any of this shilling. We didn't chill ourselves at the end.
Say letter B number 4 quitting on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. SayBeforeQuitting.com. Get all your merch. Say Before Quitting, always spelled out at gmail.com. Send us shit, whatever you want to send us. Also, join us on the Discord, Patreon. All these links will be below this video or this audio when you find it. Bye. Post credit scene. We won't give you one because Spiderverse didn't have one either. I guess that's a spoiler. It's a spoiler so that you don't have to sit in the theater till it's over if you don't want.
You should though, at least till
it says the mid
regular
thing.
Yeah, there is a mid credits like Marvel-esque thing.
Yeah, it's not. If you leave the theater, you won't leave with. If you leave the theater early, you won't leave with less information than you already knew.
Yeah, but visually, this end credits scene was very beautiful. So if you would like to stay and watch that, I would recommend that. So there's that. There's your post credit. That's not even a spoiler. That's a tip.
Boom, a tip.
Get that tip. Put the shaft right behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Balls.